What's going on, Tree Life? So, we're gonna try something here. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. The lighting is not the best. But, what's up, Jeffrey? I'm gonna show you a rope walking technique that, I mean, it's the most, it's the easiest one on the body. So, I'm gonna show you a couple, let me try to mess this light. It was messing with the lights the whole time. That's kind of why I'm late. It's just not getting any better. That light is so bright. Okay, we're just gonna make it work. So, I'm gonna show you this rope walking technique. I'm gonna show you it on a couple different things here. So, I have the zigzag set up. I'm gonna do it on the Gre-Gre. I'm also gonna do it on the Rope Runner Pro. So this technique could be used with anything. Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue. Good evening, tree climber. Business north. Awesome. That is awesome. So in North Texas, um, I guess you would have some. You still have some decent sized trees and stuff there. Texas is so big. Like the geography could be absolutely, completely different, like opposite from one side to the other. It seems. Well, I guess I just kind of came into this one all weird. This is Tree Talk. I don't know if this lighting is gonna work. I want to see if this one. I feel like that's better. Let's do this. Yeah, I feel like that's better. Okay. Tree veteran, born again. Love you, brother. Love you too. God bless. Not sure of this is live, but think I finally got here. Yeah, you definitely did. You hear some different format on my screen? Yeah, yeah. I have to change it up some. I get a bit stir crazy, and I always do a so Tree Talk episode 17. So I do a trick or tip on every single one of these. So today's trick tip is the title of the video, which is another way to walk the rope. So instead of rope walking, where you would go straight up, it is more of a sit stand method. Or at times you can solely just pull yourself up because in this setup you don't use devices as much as you'll use a 3-to-1 or mechanical advantages to make yourself feel way lighter so you can get up there with ease. This is the best lighting. I look 1,000 years old and it looks like a haunted movie set or something. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, we have a few large trees, but nothing huge. The pines around here are usually around 75. 75 is a good sized tree, though. Some places don't have things over 50, so. Bugs are fierce here, ate up. Yeah, dude, they're flying all around me right now, so maybe the lights will kind of keep them occupied. So I'm gonna actually move the camera and see if the lighting will get any better if I change the angle a bit. Yeah, I kind of like that. That is much more lit up. So what we have is the zigzag. If you want and if you need to, what you would basically do here is replace this setup with a hitch climber or a prusik. So I feel like that's the most regular setup that most people are going to have. So I want to show you that on that setup, DRT. Then in all this, I'll do some explaining along the way, but it differs from DRT to SRT, but it it goes both ways, which it's like super popular these days. So maybe this will take over the whole rope walking thing. What is everybody up to? How you been, tree veteran, born again? I was gonna let my dog out. Man, he is acting a fool right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get geared up here. Just take a second. Never mind. Well, mine's in a hackberry, huge limb broke off. Dang it, that sucks. Well, it's a climb. It'll be fun. But, yeah, you just kind of gotta look at all of them like you don't know if it's gonna be your last one, so you try to enjoy it as much as you possibly can. Damn. I think I seen John. What is up, man? Oh, no worries, John. No worries. We're just really getting into it. I kind of just did a bit of an intro to start out. I have these electric cords right here and all the attachments and plugins right underneath my feet. I feel like I'm gonna end up smashing them before it's all said and done. So I think if you're gonna be doing this, you should put on a hard hat. But I'm at home. It's really muggy and hot out here. I don't plan on going over a few feet. A limb will probably break out maybe in the head though. So. Alright, let's do it. So we have the Zigzag. We'll go ahead and hook up with it. So the thing about this, is you could use a couple pieces of gear and it'll make it even better. I'll show you. What is that good? Oh, there. And it's probably not the best idea to be out here using black tools in the dark, but yeah, that's what I do. Okay, so with us doing it like this, I can do a pretty up close, like, and show you. So you have your Zigzag hooked up. This is my stationary end. This is my moving end. Goes into the Zigzag. You go down, collapse the links. You go up. I would grab and pull up. Pull up. So you notice that this idea here, when you're tending, if you think about it, when guys try to use this to ascend a tree, they try to get it up above them and they pull down. Well, you can take your hand ascender, which this could be a prusik if you wanted. This is just easier for me, more efficient in my opinion, and I have one. So I'm going to hook the hand ascender on the moving end. Micro pulley, everything's black. I'm going to end up losing everything. And carabiner. So here's where it's not complicated, but it gets a little tricky if you're not paying attention. So you see how this is. You have your Zigzag, the moving end, and you put your hand ascender on the moving end. So you could actually be pulling it in, and the way a zigzag works, look, it collapses usually. So if you have enough rope below you, it'll probably tend itself, but that's not what we're doing. Hand descender, what's the least in the screen? Okay, you see this setup. Anchor end, stationary, or moving end. I'm going to take the tail from up underneath. I'm going to hook my micro pulley onto it. Then I'm going to bring it up here to the hand descender, which is, I don't know why I chose a black hand descender. Trying to be fair. So, no, did I hit it? Yep. Hang on. My bad. Okay, so you would take this, my bad guys, the hand descender's here. I just need to be able to walk this thing out so I can get closer to you guys to make it clear. Okay, there we go. Hand descender on the moving end. So I'm going to take the rope below the device. I'm going to put my micro pulley into it. And I'm going to connect it up here to the hand descender. Okay? Positioned right. So if you look at it now, I've got micro pulley. The rope goes from stationary up the tree, back down to this, goes down, up to a micro pulley that I'm going to pull on, which will pull me up. Now, I could just do this if I wanted, and the reason I don't want to is because it's just a little harder on the body, but let me show you something. I'm just going to move the hand descender as high as I can. What we've made is like a 5-to-1 out of this. So if I grab this rope and just start to pull, let me kind of sit down first. Yeah, if I grab this rope and with one hand, I'm not the strongest guy in the world, but with one hand I can do that. Now, because this is DRT or moving rope, I'm having to move twice as much rope to get up the tree as I would if I used this in a DRT or in an SRT, a single rope. Because in single rope you get all your progress you get to keep, and DRT you only get half of the progress because you have to move double the rope. So with this setup, what you would do is just advance it again and pull yourself up. The handle's there, so I usually put one hand in the handle and this hand goes up each time. Now if you wanted to, like I said, you could very, very easily just pull yourself all the way up the tree. So if you got the hand descender out there, you could but that's a bit taxing. Like, it's not hard, but it's not as easy as it could be. So we had one more piece to make that even easier, which is, well, hang on, it's doubled so it doesn't look like anything. The foot loop. You could make this out of a piece of rope, tie a loop in the end, tie a carabiner to it. So you're just going to hook that to the hand descender. Here's my advice. You want the length to be almost to your belly button or where your climbing device connects at. That's usually the best point. So you'll put your foot into it and measure it out. You can adjust these to get them to the right point, because you don't have to lift your leg higher than you actually have to, and you don't want to not get this way. You can get max length out of every step. So you put your foot in the foot loop, and it's definitely its own technique. You have to time out your step with the moving of the hand descender, because the hand descender is what you're stepping off of. So step each time, step each time. And what I like to do with this setup is I'll come down and I keep this end of the rope with me. Now I can go way out on a limb walk, and on my way back in, I can tend the slack so much easier. With this setup, it gives me an anchor point back. So yeah, there's that. I gotta lift myself up to go get it. Now I'm sure that this technique probably has a technical name, which I don't really know. Ground pounder, what's going on? Deleted. You forgot you get mask? Oh, yeah, I know. Dang it. I'll remember next time. I wanted to stop and say, what's up, brother? Yeah, yeah, born again. That's if that helps you, that is awesome, because it definitely is 10 times easier on the body. And if somebody was to have like a hurt knee or something, that would put all the work almost on one leg as opposed to two different, both legs. Where rope walking, you're going like this. With this one, you can choose what leg you want to use and go off that dominant leg each time. So it's very effective. But let me show you, it gets even better if you set this up SRT, because like I was saying before, you get all your progress. You move twice as fast with each step. So catch a couple comments. Never thought of that with the zigzag. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, ground pounder. We're gonna have some wild ones, I think, in here. It just is what it is. Like, I appreciate you though, brother. If you got stuff to do, like, I don't blame you. We're gonna do this demo, and then we'll go inside and I'll do like the weekly news stuff that I do, and we'll chit chat and stuff for a while. So if somebody has anything important that they want to talk about, here in just a few, we'll be inside, and I can focus a bit more on comments and stuff, and not be blinded by the lights and stuff. You're Riverside having burgers? That's awesome, brother. That sounds like a plan. What's the scar on your iPhone from? Um, okay. So I ran a full wheeler. No, that's my lip. This may either be from when I was born, or one time, this is so stupid. One time you ever tried to lift yourself up and sit on a sink? Well, sinks didn't always used to have the like cabinet under them. Ours didn't. So I jumped up to sit on the sink when I was little, and my feet came out from underneath me. Most people would probably do this on a tailgate. My feet came out from underneath me, and I went forward, and I bashed my face off of a bathtub. So yeah, either that or they pulled me out with forceps when I was born, and yeah, I had a wicked black eye in my baby picture. So that's what it's from. I've never thought about that. Yeah, I got a wicked scar, huh? Yeah, they're all over. I sliced my mouth wide open one time because I ran a four-wheeler through a barbed wire fence, or it was a three-wheeler, and I was too small to be probably riding it because I couldn't even turn the steering wheel, so I just like whiskey throttled it straight through, and gave myself a joker mouth. So, okay, the only issue, well, I guess it's not an issue. I can do this. What I'm climbing off of up here is a micro pulley. So I would have to totally do a different setup to climb off this SRT. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna jam the pulley with a knot and then climb on the other end. Put this in it just to be for sure. If the knot tries to come out. Actually, I'm going to double it. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to hook it to this other side in case the micro pulley was to fail up there. Okay. So now this side of the rope is just retrieving. Get it out of the way. What would you guys, because I don't think I'm going to do both of these. Which one would you guys rather see it? The Rope Runner Pro or the Gre-Gre? Because they're going to both work in similar ways. They're pretty much the same. So I do something like this for hunting, but with rope man, newt hitch, and a single. Yeah, brother. Yeah, exactly. It's an ingenious way of being able to control and lift your body weight without exerting so much energy doing it because it's so taxing every time. So my eye will look like that soon. Have an assist or deposit cut off. Dang, brother, you sound like you've had my luck. I wrecked my motorcycle the other day, which is a bummer. Yeah, but it is what it is. Not tried the Rope Runner Pro. Well, the Gre-Gre is super simple. Here's what we can do. This is what I'll do. This is going to be set up, and we can do it first. So we have the hand extender, and I'm going to show you a little trick where you can make it even less taxing on your upper body and put a little bit at the lower body. That's what the foot loop does. But if you just wanted to pull yourself, I have another trick. So let's do this. Let's go. I'll show you the Gre-Gre in the next one. I'll show you the Rope Runner Pro here, and then I'll show you the Gre-Gre with another little extra trick with it. So, never. I'm still not the fastest at putting this Rope Runner Pro together, but I'm starting to get used to it. It took a while. I always worried I was doing it wrong every time. Still not fast at all though. And this is like, in all actuality, it's like super fast compared to how I was doing it originally. It used to take me so long. So, progress. That's all I gotta look at. I'm making progress. Alright. Okay. So, there's there's the Rope Runner Pro. So what it's doing, it's running off like the bend that a rope wrench would give you here. This is working kind of like a artificial cam would work, and then the bottom is just basically a micro pulley that you can use to help tend slack. So. Yeah, heck, I've dealt with the sun all day, and then now I'm sitting here with my eyes getting burnt out by the light here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and flip in. And just like before, you don't have to have a micro pulley. You could just have a carabiner. A carabiner's fine, that's enough. You could, what you're doing is you're running a mechanical advantage off of this. You're just not getting the full mechanical advantage that you would get from a pulley. So, to kind of demonstrate that, here I'll show you what that would look like. So this would be set up like this, and then we would take this in, we would put the carabiner up, we'll bring it up here, and attach it to the hand descender. Now get this thing out of the way for now. Okay, so hand descender into the carabiner. So the reason I go up here on a hand descender instead of down here where most people go is I get this much extra. And if you really pay attention here and look, the way a hand descender is made, you can lock it in. So you see that hole there? That keeps the system from ever being able to come open when you put a carabiner in there, because now the rope is being held into place in this by this carabiner. So that came up. Pick it up again. We'll go up there. Now there's the setup if I was just using. Now all I'm going to do is put this micro pulley here at the end of this. So I'll go over it one more time. So you have micro pulley, Gopro Pro, hand descender, foot loop. So just like before, this time you don't have a moving side of the rope and a stationary, you just have a stationary side and you're moving up that stationary. So the rule changes. You now flip the hand descender to the stationary one, which seems crazy, but in a moving rope, everything changes. So now this definitely isn't as efficient as like the Zigzag. I think this device works better straight up and down, and when you compress it all the time like this system does, probably not the best, but yeah, you get all that each time. What is something wrong up there? Something hooked up. And you gotta watch though, these pins on the Rope Runner Pro are catching things, so you just have to set it, making sure you get it set up right. See, like right there, the Zigzag, or the Rope Runner Pro stuck again. Yeah, I think it's getting cut in this carabiner off of the hand descender for the foot loop. So, oh shoot, I get the foot out. So, this one I don't like this technique with, because you're basically taking away. Let me show you. This technique was meant for the Gre-Gre. It works on a hitch climber. It works on pretty much anything. It'll work on any Petzl device. It'll probably work on the Akimbo and maybe even the Uni. But let me show you something real quick with the Rope Runner Pro. So the issue with this is when this collapses here, you now are losing this part of the like bollard piece that it mashes the artificial like cam. It mashes against that because of the pressure being held. Even the pulley does. It kind of pulls against it some. So then up there, these pins were catching and it was keeping it from engaging each time. So I can't say I've ever used that technique on the Rope Runner Pro. That's kind of why I was curious to do that. But yeah, probably wouldn't be my first like go-to with this. I'd probably still go rope walking. But let me show you what this is really meant for. Because when I learned this technique, I only learned it because I bought the Gre-Gre. So I didn't really know anything about SRT. I had climbed a little bit, but I was doing it off the prusik knots like I shouldn't have been. So the Gre-Gre is this cool little device that engages a cam here when you put your weight into it. I have to figure out how I have to hold it to get the cam to engage. I'll show you when it's on. So it just opens like this. That cam, the rope goes around it. It still does not want to engage from there. It is. And what that does is it's pinching the rope here and all through here to cause a break. So the way that works is a handle on the back. So if we hook this up, here's where this technique came from, and in my opinion, why it's perfect for this. So the Gre-Gre hooks up that quick. I mean, there's often where if I'm not going to be doing a very long rope walk, this is such a quicker setup that there's times where I may go with this as opposed to rope walk. So, just like we did before, up. So now we got hand descender, split loop, Gre-Gre, rope this down through it, to the Gre-Gre, back up to this micro pulley. And this is the end that will be tending and pulling, which will pass the rope through the Gre-Gre. Set down in this. So this, like I said, this is where I got this, and it made total sense after I got it. I'm like, it made no sense when I seen it originally, but after I got it and tried it, it was awesome. So grab your hand extender, reach it up as high as you can, and you're going to step off this leg while pulling up with this. This isn't the best rope for the Gre-Gre, but it'll work. Step up, pull. Step up, pull. So I left that up there for a reason. I want to show you something. Oh, I did. I hope I chose the right bag, or right pocket. You put a foot extender on. So since I like to pull with my right arm, I was probably wearing on my right foot, but that's not going to work if it's the left footed. Whatever. So, man, it's hot and muggy out here. So you have your foot extender on now, and you'll just put it in here, and you'll be stepping on it like you would be when you had that foot loop. But you can also pull like it becomes like a helper. So if you had this, you wouldn't even have to use your hands. You should be able. You kind of have to stay straight. But yeah, that didn't. And these foot extenders don't work the best until you get some weight below you. There it goes. See it pass up each time, and I'm able to step off of it like I was with the foot loop. So, in all actuality, let me get down a little bit. You could be using all your feet with this setup if you set it up a certain way. I've never done it, but I guess you could try. And then we'll call it an evening on this and go to the shed, do some talking. So, oh no, I gotta go to the other side. This is gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be overkill. Yeah, for sure. So now, let's see. Yeah, now I lost control. No, I still have the hand ascender. How would I do that? That is so weird. Why is that not tensioned in there? Oh, I'm pinching it with my hand. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. You could just use your foot if you got some weight, but the foot loop ends up being pointless if you're going to use the foot ascender. So like I was saying before, you could not have a foot loop and just use a foot ascender and use a prusik instead of a hand ascender. But you know, that's all preference. It's like what kind of tool, what tools do you have? And I think those are the ones you should use. But yeah, that's that. If you have any questions about it, I'm going to kind of break down a little bit of this. So I have so much to do in a second that I am pouring sweat. This is ridiculous. I have 3 different devices on this one rope right now. Zigzag. Gopro. Jeez. Alright, we'll take this and you guys to the shed. Well, hang on, give me 1 second. I'll go flip the light on so I don't fall on the way there. PSA, anybody who uses a foot ascender, be aware that often you will forget that you are wearing said foot ascender and go walking into a gas station and be clicking and clacking and looking crazy. I did it right there. I just wasn't at a gas station. Alright, come on. Let's do this. Sorry, guys. Oh, shoot. Jeez, it's hot. Why do you get so damn humid? Oh, can I do this? Born again. So I can't go back too far on the comments because then I'll get way behind. But I'll go back a little ways. What's going on, Brandon? Rusty streak here? As if you were just shoot. Kinda. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because the foot ascent helps, like you're saying, if you're just making your way up and you're climbing DRT on Zigzag, it works really good. if you're just going up like that, because it's pulling from underneath. That's why I was saying, like, most guys will get a long tether to attach to it, and they'll extend the zigzag out from them to where it's above them, and they can be pulling down, and it's much easier to tend. That's why a lot of split tail devices from before, the split tails are always so long and stuff. But you're right, yeah, the double with the foot, the hand descender, moving it up that way makes it just strange. So, but I'm sure that any of it can be done with a technique, because I've seen guys do um, ways of, man, I'm about to kill over. I'm not trying to pull no thirst trap stuff, but I can't do it, guys. I'm about to sweat to death. Okay, so you're right though. Yeah, I should expect to be sweating, Brendan. You're right. Okay, looked like it was a 221 on your legs, which should make it extremely easy. Yeah, I get confused on the setups for after you get past a 3 to 1, then a 4 to 1, like 5 to 1. Like, I start to get confused, and I always name it the wrong thing. So that's why I said 3 to, maybe it's a 5 to 1 is maybe what it is. I'm not 100% for sure, but yeah, it could. You could be right though, John. Like I said, I get confused with it. Did a big sycamore covered in poison ivy. My foot ascender cut off the circuit. Oh, dang. In high 90s here. Yeah, it's stupid hot here, bud. Never seen that much ivy. Yeah, I did a. I don't know if anybody's ever like seen the video. I put out a video where I'm standing in the unions of this cherry tree. It was a black cherry tree. The stump was insane. It was 6 different stems, and each stem was like 4 foot across at the base. Maybe a couple of them were a little smaller than that, but and I was standing on the stumps of one and pulled one over, and it looked like it did like some weird curly Q thing. And the slow mo shows it come down and bounce off the bottom stump of a stub that I'd cut off. That tree was absolutely covered in poison ivy, and I did it in a tank top and shorts the first day because I had just showed up and it was an emergency. So I set up rope walking, and rope walking right there saved me because I wouldn't have to climb around in a bunch of poison ivy going up a stem. I could access the canopy without dealing with that poison ivy covered stem, which sometimes is the worst. So I think rope walking is extremely good technique, and I would say that we did is some sort of rope walking. I would say sit stand or stand sit, because that's basically what you're doing. You're kind of sitting and then stepping off of one leg, sitting, stepping off, and when you get up, that's kind of what you do. You kind of go to one. You have a dominant leg. At least most people do. Never seen that much. Gotta run. Oh, okay, Roundhouse. Hey, thanks for hanging out, man. I really appreciate it. You're welcome back at any time. We do these every single Saturday until I forget one of them and we don't. I'm gonna try that, but Luke, yeah, try it, man. It's really nice because it could be any kind of rope. So if you have shoes that are really, or boots that are really worn in, you want to make yourself a good cushy foot loop to put your foot into, so you can step off of each time. So, and that same setup, the foot loop, I made a knee ascender out of it. You could take that foot loop to the hand ascender, and then take on the hand ascender and put a bungee to a clip. And then now you've turned the hand ascender into a knee ascender. If that makes sense. I feel like sometimes I ramble and just make things confusing. Well, Brandon, or Roundhouse, thank you for hanging out, brother. I really appreciate you. Chris, what's going on? That is so awesome, dude. I have two screwed up knees. One's just completely blown out, and it's been so long like that. I think it happened maybe when I was like 19, maybe 18, 19. But my leg literally broke, and I reset it myself, and like it went out of place, and I reset it and folded it back, and it got like I could put weight on it. And they put this crazy long stupid brace on it, and I just never healed right, and so yeah, my knees are totally shot, and my left one kind of goes in place and out of place, but I've figured out how to pop it back now, thank God. But I worry that like the knuckles on my bones are gonna break off one of these times because it sounds god awful to pop it back into place. But if I was to take this leg and put it up here and go cross-legged, if this knee doesn't have pressure on it, like constant, like flexed, it will go click and come apart, and I have to fold it and step straight on it and go forward, and it kind of pow. But yeah, that's the whole thing of getting old. And I've said to anybody who knows me, I've rode this body hard, and I'm just gonna hang it up soaking wet. Like I burnt the candle at both ends, and whatever happens to me, I'm not surprised because that's just that's just me. Dang, really? Well, I sweat like crazy too, man. But I don't. I have both. So yeah, you got me beat. 2 years working after. Dang, man. No problem, man. It's my pleasure. That's why I feel like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do a trick tip or something. That one is one that just randomly popped into my head, and it's awesome when because these videos, that little part of the well, that ended up being a huge part of the video, but that aspect of the video originally wasn't meant for like it's meant for one but few people that are it's going to help out there. Those few people that are like, whoa, that's it. It's probably not for the mass that are going to watch this, but that's why I try to keep the trick tip things to be kind of short and then get straight into the normal. But yeah, that one was what it was. So I apologize if you didn't like it, and I'm stoked if it helped you. White lines more than anything. Yeah, Brandon, they're the worst. I just got in from fishing. Oh, what up, Dan? Dang, I didn't even realize it was you. I read the comment before I looked at the person. I do that a lot. Nightmare Ryan, thank you. Where's Dano? He's probably busy or worn out. It's a Saturday, so. Did you like, been several years, think it's, meniscus? Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is, man. But yeah, I'm not talking about that. Cole? Yeah, Cole, I climb and I also, skateboard. So, I had an accident to where I couldn't even walk. I kind of I cracked my back and my pelvis and like did a whole bunch of damage to myself. If you notice, I have like right here, my ribs aren't connected. My ribs broke and separated from the sternum, and that's my ribs sticking out there. They broke when I fell, and I never had them rebroken connected. So like I always have these ribs sticking out right here that there's just nothing I can do about. They just yeah, they were way out here, and I had to like push them back in when I fell. But yeah, to teach myself how to rewalk, and after I did all that, I said, you know what? I probably don't have much like longer in life that I could do a few things that I want to do. I want to skateboard again, and so at like 37 or so, I decided to. Maybe I was 38. Go for it again. So, I think how bodies change, but we the same ones inside, the same dude as years ago. Yeah, yeah. That's the beauty of it, though. Like that's why judging a person off their appearance or off, first meeting them is just ignorant. Because like everybody has a bad day, has an off time, and you get judged off that first interaction a lot of times if it's a bum or delta. Gotta let Aaron Lynch port myself. You know what? I've had, maybe it's always you, veteran, but I've had other people tell me that Aaron Lynch is really good at porting saws. So, yeah, I have to definitely have to check into it. I feel so awkward with my shirt off. I feel like I'm just trying. Yeah, that's weird. That's why I'm gonna get closer. Oh, where you out of? Yes, brother. Okay, I used to live near Mike now. It's Smoky Mountain. That's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm in Georgia. That's cool. Ice skate and climb trees too. That's awesome, Cole. That's sick. It's really crazy to see the crossover because I think there's more than you would ever think. Tree climbers, they end up being skateboarders. I think it translates over well. Like tree climbing beats the body up, and if you can handle beating your body up on a skateboard, like it probably translates over. But if you think about it, skateboarding is this weird thing that, like, out of all sports, people think skateboarding is magic. They're like, how do you get that skateboard to stick to your feet? And it's always funny to me because there's nothing like that in other sports where people are like, how do you even do the very first step? They're just mesmerized by it. And you don't get anything for free. You have to hurt and go through the struggle to get anything. So that's why I kind of like it. Um, you definitely learn how to pick yourself up and try again until you get it. I wish I knew him then. Was not far. Lived 2 minutes. Dang, that's awesome. From St. Louis. Been a decade now. Bro, you gotta try Aaron Lynch. I promise. Okay, maybe we'll have to. Maybe we'll do some content on that. We'll send him something off. I have another 200 up there that I would maybe like to have done. So I always need work. Yeah, that's kind of the boat that I don't think most of us find ourselves in. Like either you're swamped like crazy or you need it, and everything for me is always so hit and miss. So well, Gumbus, you're gonna make me blush. You're funny. You make me put my shirt back on. What's gonna happen? And just sweat to death. But okay, let's do let's do like the news. Um, I do my week of what I've seen kind of out there as far as content and stuff, and that's what we'll do now. We'll kind of finish this thing out. You might have to put that shirt back on. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Damn it, you make me awkward. I'm not. I'm definitely not trying to thirst trap anybody into watching. So it's not that hot. I cooled off anyway, and I feel awkward every time I look up at myself. So now we can be comfortable and just get this stuff better. All right. So I would die on a skateboard with this thing. Yeah, you would maybe work. It's working. Um, hilarious. I can't. So August put out a battery chainsaw video. It was the Echo 2500 T, and he did the first cuts and stuff with it. I think he helped on like one of Damien's jobs, so that's kind of cool to see him just just helping a friend out. I think that's awesome. 'Cause I find myself in those situations a whole bunch anymore. But yeah, that is what it is. And let's see. Oh, he said the issue that he ran into with that saw is that's a bit underpowered when it's not able to build the chain speed. So like if you can get the saw going, it goes through. And I've used like pole saws and stuff that are like that. They need a bit of inertia to start so that they don't stop on the cut. So like I get exactly what he's saying, but I especially when I'm in the top of a tree and like anymore with any tree, I like to have a saw that has plenty enough power because not enough power sometimes you can't get into the cut. Like I would rather have it and not need it as opposed to need it and not have it and need to like get through a cut really fast and you can't. So it ends up blowing up in your face or something. And you definitely don't want that. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer with it because I think it would be really cool to have a bunch of different options. It's nice that almost every brand now is offering a battery saw, so maybe prices can be a bit more competitive. Gumbish, you're funny. August did a video with that Milwaukee pole saw. That thing's sweet, but high. Is it high Dollar Tree veteran? Yeah, I kind of figured as much. Um, see, I heard that the top handle Milwaukee that I see Zachy issues and that August also used. I used that one day and was working for an old farmer, and he's like, "Hey, you want to use my saw?" And people are always asking me if I want to use their saw, especially dudes that are like, it's the older guys, and I was like, "Yeah, what you got?" I mean, maybe what you got, and he told me, so he brought it out, and even with a kind of a dull chain, that saw ripped, like it tore into the cut and didn't have any issues, which a saw that gets in a bind is my biggest like pet peeve. I'm not doing it. I don't want an underpowered saw because it just becomes aggravating. So, the Echo battery is for pruning. Yeah, I would say, and for like, yeah, mainly for pruning. I think you're right. When you start getting down into the wood and stuff, but I mean, at the same time, people said that the 150. Oh shoot, there's the bugs. They're coming. Um, People say that the 150 is only for pruning also, but I used it for many, many, many prunes. So you can get them to work, but I think you're overworking them, tree veterans. So probably, I think your statement is factually correct. Like bottom line, it's meant for pruning. So the new Husqvarna battery saw has a clutch, so it don't pinch and stop as bad. I see guilty of treason using it, and it seemed like a pretty good saw. It seemed like it didn't have issues in the cut, and that's my biggest pet peeve because like getting into the cut, like a good chain does all that work. I don't want it to get stuck in the cut or bogged down too much. So that's like my two things. So okay, he did. You like Milwaukee, huh, Chris? That's awesome. Okay, Frankie. Okay, Frankie. He did another video with the Echo, and it was way better, smaller wood. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I did. It definitely you could tell it's seems like a pretty good little saw, but if you noticed, the saw was still having issues at the battery connection point, I think, because it wouldn't work at times, and he would have to advance the chain a little bit, like manually, and it would like maybe wiggle into place. There's something locking up there. The electronic gears that they're using are getting in a bind, or the battery connection is not properly there at times. It's got to be probably one of the two, would be my guess. But I noticed that he was still having those issues, so that's probably one of them things you got to deal with when you're dealing with a battery powered chainsaw. So, what year was you born, Mike? 1984, January. I am 40. My 2511 T ported runs 1416 steel whole saw. bar chain, 043. It eats like a 201T. That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, mine, I feel like mine has my 150 rip still. It's just now I've had it for so long, and I just like, if I'm gonna be into heavy wood and stuff, I'm just gonna get the 201. And I still have my 200 sitting over there that I have to mess with and I have to get running because it's just stupid that it's not running. Actually, it's up there, but yeah, I noticed that as well. Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, but I think Husqvarna had an issue with their batteries falling out. So, I mean, those are those little nuances that they're. That's why I say, like in the last live video, a product needs time to be used in the field by multiple people. One guy using it over a period of time isn't enough field testing. So if you're not doing that, you're going to deal with these kind of problems along the way. And even if you do that and have a bunch of people, you still may deal with these problems along the way trying to come up with a product because you need the right guy to use it in the right situation to find these things out. So, just my opinion. Man, didn't know you were that young. You know what? That's the first time anybody's talked about me and said young in the same sentence in a while, and I'm going to take it, brother. Thank you. I started back in BMX this summer. That's awesome, Chris. Then, dude, I haven't done a trick since '91. You guys talking about skateboarding makes me smile. Yeah, dude, that's okay. Here's a little thing because I still post and um, I document all of my progression along the way. So I've most people that know anything about skateboard know about a 360 flip, and that's where you make the board spin a 360 like sideways and a 360 with a barrel roll. So I've tried to land that trick since I was 16 years old and never could land one. I would do it off like a drop, but I could never land one on the ground. And I just landed one a couple weeks back for the first time ever. It took me 24 years. And I have hours, thousands of hours probably. Maybe not thousands, but like over 1,000 hours, I know for sure, trying just that. And I could never get it. So you can't ever count yourself out. I feel like there's anything out there, if you want it bad enough and you're able to pick yourself up off the ground and accept that you did something wrong along the way and try again, you can get most things. And it definitely makes you appreciate them a lot more. So I have watched you for years. That's awesome, man. I appreciate that too. I really do. Yeah, usually when you comment something, it's like, and I get that. I'm not a real talky guy. That's why a lot of times I need. You see all this, but I need stuff like I gotta write it down. I can do this, but you put me in front of multiple people, and like I get awkward, which is weird because I did like skate competitions and I played music for a long time, and now I like turned into a introverted, like awkward weirdo. But you, I feel like people don't. It's always kind of a shock to them that I'm more quiet when they meet me. So I won second in state, 17. Remember back in that's crazy, man. That's so awesome. Made me a bike. What? 6 pound. What the hell? That is so sick, dude. That is so awesome. That's crazy. Yeah, the best thing I did on those two, like I signed a record contract at one point, and we got into a recording studio and we realized that we all had differing opinions, and we just kind of clashed when we all got stuck in a room together and everybody had their own stuff going on. And before we knew it, like the thing we were chasing down, we got, and it broke us apart instantly. So But dude, yeah, tree veteran. That's crazy, Chris. That's sick. I still have it at the old man. Dude, that is so awesome. I bet that's awesome. Yeah, I got wrecked out on my motorcycle the other night, and luckily I just ended up with a pretty scraped up leg, and it scratched my mirror up pretty good, but I kind of got lucky. So back to this. Um, One first and second, my foot slipped off the pedal. The last big triple. Dude, that's crazy. I just built a 24-inch elf cruiser. That's fucking awesome. That's so crazy. So also cut in. Okay, yeah. Okay, so for August did a bunch of stuff last week. He put out the right job for a small battery powered saw. Um, like I guess the only thing I didn't like, I don't know. I sometimes I feel like people judge people right off the get go. Like in his video, he says maybe he went over and asked, or maybe it wasn't even feasible, but he put it in the video, so it made me feel a certain way. And those little things like that are the things that make me question my editing all the time and like be so in depth about things and try to stay neutral unless I'm trying to make a point. But like he said in the video, it would be easier from the neighbor's side, but he won't ask them because he thinks they have less pride in their place because their place wasn't as nice, which makes them less approachable. And I think I'm different as far as that goes. I feel more comfortable with them people who like, even though I'm the guy that keeps his landscaping spick and span, I feel comfortable around that because like I came up with no I had nothing. Like we weren't like balling out. We did fine, but like I'm used to less, and I understand where some people their yards maybe not their priority and this and that, and it's wild to see that the littlest silly thing on a video can draw an emotion out of you and make you like or dislike a person and you feel so strongly about it. And maybe that wasn't his intent at all when he did it. But I found that part fascinating that, like, because I'm always trying to figure out, like, what makes a video good on YouTube? Why do you guys like certain videos and not like other ones? And, like, that one, when I realized it, like, I was like, whoa, that's weird because you know what? He probably didn't even mean it this way. So I wonder if I'm the only person that would take it that way. But yeah, maybe maybe I just looked way too deep into it. But he was bumming out because he was saying his views are down on like videos and stuff, and and I hear people all the time be like, it's the algorithm, and they're probably smarter than me when it comes to technology, so they're probably right. But it's hard for me to believe the algorithm. Like I see guys that will consistency. I think is the biggest key, and like trying to keep things fresh. And like I think the viewer can really see when you're doing something you don't really feel it. Some some like there were times where I had to take a break and that's when I quit doing the live feeds that we do like this. I needed that break. Even though I'm still putting out videos, I could see it myself when I would watch the live feeds that I just wasn't really enjoying it. I was kind of going through the motions, and at that point, it becomes like you're turning it into some weird job and stuff. And the money has never been good for me. So like, I don't know what other YouTubers make. So he was saying like, it's nice when you get that little bit of money from YouTube and you get used to it. And then when it's not there and the views aren't there, you don't get the money. Even though you're working just as hard, you don't get the money. And that part's a bummer. And it's like the worst part about YouTube is there could be a young kid or a younger guy out there who just started his YouTube channel and he puts out videos every single day and he's working 10 times harder than me. But because I've been doing it for longer and I have more subscribers, mine's going to be seen. But the algorithm will pick one of them guys every once in a while and choose them and like get them out, and that channel blows up. So hang on, I want to get back into that, but I want to try to stay up on comment. It hits or miss. I think I'll have 1,000+ views or 40 to 100. Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? Like it just it's hard to predict. It's hard to understand. So I've never quite understood it. Problem is that people don't hit like right away. Then the internet has. Yeah, I know that would really help. I mean, but I hate asking for that, and it's like it's the most cringe thing to me is when a YouTuber does it. But I feel like maybe August was saying he talked to Jake, and this is where I wanted to go with the conversation anyway. He talked to Jake, guilty of treason, and Jake told him that he needs to ask people to subscribe and ask them to like things. And that may be right. Maybe I give everyone way too much. Maybe I think they're. I don't know how to word that. I take for granted that people know this. That if you like this, hitting the thumb button helps me. That if you continuously watch the videos and you get them for free and they entertain you in some way or you learn something, you can hit that subscribe button and do me a favor back. But that's so weird to explain that to somebody um, every time, and it really it's like so cringe to me. But I don't know. I don't have the right to really have this real strong opinion about this because Jacob has built a channel twice. He built Guilty of Treason East Side Tree Work, almost got to like I think it was getting close to 1 million subscribers. They took his channel from him, and he went and did it again. Total different channel, and went and did it again. So that's a guy when you watch him, you see the joy of him being there. Sometimes you become robotic and you don't realize it. And I mean this in no negative way because I'm guilty of this too. As a YouTuber, you will become robotic in the way that you react with the camera. And it's hard to break that. And sometimes maybe it's some rest or, and a break because trying to be like inauthentic and be weird and like all, what's up YouTube? That's like for some people that works for them, you know. And for some of us that's just not our style. But I don't know. That's the weird thing. Like, is it the algorithm? Because I feel like I've put in plenty enough work doing YouTube. I've put out plenty enough videos. I've spent tons and tons and tons of days and hours making videos, putting them together. And my channel has been a very slow simmer. So we've been hungry, lost our appetite, been hungry, lost our appetite 50 times over, and this meal still isn't cooked. So it's like, I don't know what makes that channel blow up. So maybe he's right. Maybe it is the algorithm. Maybe Jacob's right, and maybe I should tell you to hit the thumb button every time, and I should tell you to subscribe. But man, that is just not me. But hey, I can't say my opinion's right because my channel, like I said, very slow. So August did a few more. Oh, he did some live videos, 3 live videos, and then he did tree pruning basics for the homeowner, and that was full of good info and a good like knowledgeable bit of conversation as far as what's what you can do and what you shouldn't do. So he's a really smart dude when it comes to tree work. And I think people take for granted, those guys that have been doing this for so long, they will take for granted that you're always going to put out content. Your videos are always going to be there. So they get to the point where they're like, I know what he's going to do, and I know the way he does stuff. I'll catch it later. I'm looking for something new. So I, I, I don't know. I don't know how that works. But then he did the 3 live feeds where he was doing crane work, and he did like live feeds in between the picks. Oh yeah, apparently he's selling his motorcycle, his Bugatti or something like that, for 7,500. So anybody looking for one of them, there you go. Then he put out a video called "Did this job for 1,500. I should fire myself." It didn't have much for context behind it. Maybe that's just the way he felt about it afterwards. But yeah, crane job, small, real close quarters. So yeah. Your phone won't let you do videos. I tried, made a few crap ones. Really? You should be able to go to the shorts and just hit short. Like go to the middle on your YouTube thing, hit the little cross, and make a short. Maybe. I don't. That's weird. That's why most of my videos, I try to do them from the GoPro and I export them onto my phone because my phone is cracked to pieces. The camera's junk and it's old. So it's definitely like these. It takes a lot of work messing with these lights to get this to where it's visible. So that's funny. It's overloaded with pictures from work. It's funny. That's awesome, tree veteran. That's a way to keep from not forgetting. So I know there are some of you guys out there that faithfully hit that like button, and I appreciate it. But like, if I gave you here, I'll give you guys an example of how things. I don't know how many subscribers I had before COVID hit. I'd have to go back and look, but if I was guessing, 4 or 5 thousand subscribers I probably had at that time. So before COVID hit, having like 4 to 5 thousand subscribers, it may have been less than that actually. It may have been like 30 something thousand, but or 3,000, couple hundred. I was making $700 a month from YouTube, and I was just like, wow, this is like money. This is crazy. And now I have, I think we're getting close to 10,000. I put out videos way more on the regular, and I make like $60 a month, $70 a month. So YouTube doesn't really pay your like favorite subscriber all that much, and maybe they did at one point, but they don't anymore. And I feel like I put out more content on the regular than I ever did before, and it just is what it is. Dan, if you do the same thing, I appreciate you too. Thank you. I'll see you for so long. I didn't even know you were supposed to hit that thumb thing. Yeah, hey, it happens. Yeah, it's I don't know. Some people are go. So like I get it. But if you're like watching somebody and they give you entertainment, this is free entertainment. Back when I was younger, if you let's revert that back to skateboarding again. Let's do this. A skateboard video would come out like once every 4 months or so. Sometimes it'd be like take all year before you'd really get one. But when that video came out, I was willing to spend $30, or so on the video because it was so rare. And now people get free entertainment, um, stuff that you would normally have to pay for, but like it's free, and if you like that person and they've entertained you, or if I'm the type of person, someone does something for me, I want to reciprocate. Like, I just feel like that's the right thing to do, and I don't care where who anybody is, how they live. Like, your life is your life, but the way you treat people means a lot to me. The way you interact with people, if you can't show people respect, and I think everyone should revert back to having a little more morals and like manners, which may sound weird coming from a guy like me, but I have a daughter and I have a wife, and it's like, even men now, I feel like I'm disgusted. Like, my little girl's holding the door for men. Like, it just, I don't know. It's a different world. 100% what you're saying. Have you comfortable? You look saying. Says, yeah. Always hit that because the video were raw full videos. Yeah, Trevor is my backyard. That's awesome. Trevor, Mike, educated climber, and climbing arborist were the first guys and the channels I watched. And August. That's awesome. That's awesome to. Yeah, I remember. Like, for me, it was Reg, and it was actually Jaden Anderson, and he. I'm trying. It's Jaden's experience or Jaden's perspective. Um, but Jaden had the most amazing style when it comes to doing tree work, and his video editing skills were so good. But he passed away. But he got me into it, and then pointed me August's direction, and then I was in awe. Then I found Reg, and then I found Lawrence Schultz, and like so many guys along the way that it's really crazy to sometimes see my name thrown in the list when people are like, "Well, I watched and learned from this," or that that makes all that stuff worthwhile. So I can do shorts, but it won't hold data. Huh? That's really weird. So the YouTube won't hold data, but I wonder if, oh, your phone itself won't hold data. If you have an older phone, a lot of times you can take it out and put like an SD card that you would put in a GoPro. You put that in the phone, um, where your memory card would go, or your data card, or whatever that is, your little chip. I keep one in my phone. Now I actually, because I had so much trouble exporting my videos from GoPro app over, I do the craziest thing. I pop my phone card out and put the SIM card for my GoPro in and switch them out. And that's how I get the videos. Then I take those videos over and I bring them into a editor. I edit the video out, then I have to export it from that into my gallery. Then I have to export it from my gallery to YouTube. So, and that's the fast way of doing it. So, for those who think that video creating is easy, like, it's far from it. But some guys have, like, and I like doing this too. Sometimes I just do something and like leave it raw, and like it's good, but like people's attention span are so um, easily like veered off that edited videos do better for me by far. So I wonder what Bearsing said. Let's see. That's crazy. That's crazy. 2ROTX. It's crazy you would ask somebody a question like that and be a like a faceless little turd who definitely doesn't even put anything in their moniker or name that could link them back to them, because consequences scare you, right? You gotta be good. You should stop with that. That's not nice. So crazy. People are wild, man. It don't take no effort to. Yep. Must be some scammers. Yeah, some people are wild. Robin, did you ever have a chainsaw scare where you were glad you were wearing chainsaw pants? Um, no, but I feel like, I mean, there is a learnable lesson that I could kind of give right now. Okay, at one point I was I was cutting a say I was cutting like a little branch like this, and it had some twigs on it, and it was a piece of wood, and I held it in my hand right here. Some or no, I held it like this, and I was cutting a twig right here, and my chainsaw bounced off that twig, and went up, and it like cut my hand open pretty good. I kind of got a pretty nasty scar that goes around. It's healed up pretty good. Yeah, you can see it there. But yeah, my hand just opened up, so I ended up having to get a bunch of stitches and glue it back together. But I also wore really kind of loose, baggy pants when I was younger, and I was helping my dad one time cut a tree up, and the tip of the chainsaw got by my pants, and it grabbed a hold of my pants and sucked them into my leg, and I got this like swirl on the side of my leg where it just chainsaw isn't gonna just like cut you like a knife. It's gonna take a trench of whatever it hits. It's gonna leave a trench in there. So I think when people are like, "I got cut by a chain," no, you got tore apart, because they don't just when they start hitting flesh, they don't just cut anymore. So I think that's my chainsaws. Oh, like these boots. This is crazy. Dang it, my knee just popped out of place. You see that right there? That's my boot that's cut. Hang on, my knee's out of place. Dang it. I gotta put it back up now. So the first day I like was wearing these, I was cutting a little twig. I was out on a limb walk, and there it went and popped. I was out on a limb walk and I was cutting suckers on my way back in, and just it ran up the side of the log, got my boot. I thought there's a red liner in the inside of these. It's like maybe for waterproofing, and I seen that. And I thought it was blood. And, yeah, I was kind of freaking, but I was like, I'm gonna finish doing what I'm doing, and then I'll get down and look. And I was so for sure that my foot was bleeding, but yeah, when I got down, I was fine. It didn't go all the way through. The chainsaws are no joke. Like you see guys doing plunge cuts, and that is not a beginner technique. That's the technique that will gut somebody. Like you see that the video where the guy takes the chainsaw and it runs. He tries to cut the roof up above him. So if you think about the way that chain's working, it's going like this. So it's gonna the chainsaw when it grabs onto that wood, it's gonna go, and that's exactly what it did. It bit, it ran up what he was cutting, and then it kicked it back right in his face. And that dude was lucky. So some people don't get that lucky, and just it's terrifying to. I'm always scared, like really scared when I try to teach somebody how to use one. For the longest time, I'm always so nervous because like I've seen it happen at the stupidest points. Like somebody get cut when they're in the back of a trailer, chopping the brush down because the bar will run up the wall and get them at some point. So I think, Robin, my long-winded answer is I think chainsaw pants are awesome. I think if you have the ability to wear them and can, you should definitely do it because all you're doing is I'm a bit of a numbers guy. You're increasing your odds of success and limiting the chance of of injury. So that's not a bad thing. It's nothing but good. That's crazy. Born again. That's see, but you had them, so that's all that matters. That's awesome. Yeah, try that and see if it helps. That's the SIM card. That's a micro SD card. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. The SIM card is the where you would take it out of your phone, and the SD card. You're right. Let's see. Bear Satrix. Bear Satrix. I feel like there's something like it's a name, and I hate when you're reading something like a knucklehead like Mike Roch. Mike Roch. That's weird. And yeah, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just a name you put together. I hope it is, and I didn't just look like a complete idiot. Or Amanda Hugging Kiss. Usually thorns, tear chains, off pants more often, but I wear them always. Hey, I will tell you. I'll tell you one thing, Robin. I've never owned a, and I think every time you go up and you're climbing, you should always take a handsaw. That's my personal opinion. That's a tool that I don't go on climbs without. You can get yourself out of a pinch. If you needed to cut a rope because it's under tension and you're needing to escape, it's there. Like, get your chainsaw pinched up, like, and you can prune little things along the way. But I've never owned a handsaw that hasn't cut me very good. And usually it's towards the beginning of owning it, where I mean I've got myself bad. So yeah, handsaw is probably worse for me than most of my chainsaws. So, but veterans, right? Them thorns and stuff like that will do you in just as fast. So USD last five new phones taking the feature away. So yeah, I know. Yeah, I know it's gonna be a bummer. I'm gonna have to go back to who was that that said that? Sorry, Robin. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to probably doing it with the GoPro app and stuff, but I don't want to. This made things much easier. So, howdy from Mark. What's going on, Arkansas? Okay, there 269 cheaper too. Yes, my folks are lost. That's so funny. Find them all over. I chopped an oak tree with an axe. Took a while, but I got it done. That's awesome, Sky Daddy. That's awesome. I mean, that's like legit male stuff. That's what I've never aggravated when I see somebody that's like fascinated, any kind of dude, teenager, who like likes tree work, chainsaws, stuff like that, because there's not a lot of them out there. Some guys look at you like you're dirty because you use that machine, and it's like I don't know. There's there's many different people out there, and I have no problem respecting the local crackhead and showing them the same respect that I show the local business mogul who walks into the gas station. You know, I don't know. I'm the type of guy that thinks there are repercussions and actions for every action or interaction that you've had in life eventually somewhere down the road. And I hope to God that's true because I've spent a long time trying to do people right and have been done wrong by a lot of people that just I hope eventually kind of karma does its thing. So You can call cowards, but maybe the truth is they are aware of the dangers more than you. Yeah, to be honest, I wear them for comfort now. Started out as business uniforms, but these dogwoods I wear regardless. Still true to size like the rest of. I may have to hit you up, born again. Um, I am not opposed to wearing them. It's just I just haven't made it there. Like, holy shit, it's Christian Bale, Woodsman's version. Fuck, dude, that's funny. What the hell? I seen Dano or someone wearing those Georgia boots. Might try them. Yeah, they're really, really comfortable. I'm a Carolina guy because I feel like the price is like value for your buck is there with a Carolina, but these are very nice. They also have this back part, which is like a hard plastic right here, and that's showing. Can't really see the little lines. So right there is where your spike strap goes around the back, and you don't get that like wear on the back of your heel like you would get with some other ones. Oh no. Okay, so at least it's different. What's up, veteran? Yeah, like the old plunge cut. If you don't got the right saw and the right guy on that saw, that's a dangerous cut to be making. For sure. And I think some guys make that look very easy, and I know that it's put many a bruise on an inner thigh or in the gut or in the rib cage of many people out there that tried it thinking it was going to be so simple. So, more to check out and listen. God bless. Thank you for climbing truth. You, hey, veteran, thank you for hanging out, brother. I really appreciate you. Have a good night. Yeah, yeah. I've, but yeah, lucky. You're right. I think YouTube popped in visitors. That was strange. Yeah, sometimes we just get some wild ones who come in. It's like it's like the streaker who runs through the football game, and holy cow, I look bald like I'm balding. Okay, maybe not, but yeah, it's like the streaker that runs through the football game at halftime. We have a streaker every once in a while come rolling through here, and they lay down some gnarly comments. But whichever moderator out there was holding down the fort, I thank you very much for that. And I should probably make someone else a moderator eventually, so that I have multiple. Because my guy Billy, who never misses a live feed, hopefully he's having a good night. Hopefully he's good because he's my normal moderator, but he's not here tonight. So I hope Billy's doing good. We'll throw prayers away. So. Thanks for the reply, dude. I use a chainsaw intermediately to cut down big wood. Options when using. Uh, let's see. Intermediately to cut down big wood. Options when chopping wood. Good wood. Wood fired pottery. Oh, that's sick. That's so awesome. I have I have I have two huge kilns for pottery here. Like I have an old vintage one that's out in my garage. I need to sell them or give them to somebody or get rid of them or something. But I have a small one here that's like behind this, and it's I don't know, it's like 2.5, 3 foot, and it's probably foot and a half wide, maybe a little more. And then the other one out there is like 5 levels stacked up on top of each other, and they all got their own unit to them. But that's pretty sick that you do pottery. I'm no arborist. Let's see, sorry, I bumped it. Really just respect the profession. Was wanting to do it at one point after I left the military. It's a it's an amazing job. Like it is. every time it's going to be something like something new, but it can be the stress involved with it. If you can't handle stress, like it's probably certain people when they get into this, like it ends up just spitting them out quick because there's an insane amount of stress involved, and stress every once in a while or danger every once in a while for some people is it sounds awesome, like it sounds fun, but can you? I mean, it's like zip lining a long ways. What if I told you if you do it once, you got to continue? Could you do that every single day, multiple times a day for hours? No, like that would be a little much. But the danger's always going to be there, and it's just so easy to mess up doing this that you give yourself an ulcer stressing, and you could not go home one day. So that's why I like the community, and I try my best to do what I can to share some knowledge. I'm not the smartest guy when it comes to tree work. I'm not the best. I'm nowhere near it. I've just done stuff for a really long time. I've learned a lot of things the hard way, and I feel like there's no sense in someone else learning it the hard way when I can kind of give you the info and let you know, like, yeah, hey, there's no sense in doing that because there's a better way. So, and on top of that, I'm the type of guy that I want to know all the ways to do something. So I want to know all the techniques. So I enjoy learning new things. So this kind of job, it just never changes because the gear's always upgrading and the tree's always different and the risk and dangers involved is always different, and it's a wild profession. Robin, I don't know that I could do something else, but I mean you talk military and you have my respect. So time comes for all hairlines, brother. Aw, don't tell me that. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. You're right. I'll end up with a wicked widow speaker, something sick. I'm gonna end up with a Costanza. You know I'm gonna end up with a Costanza. It's gonna be so shiny here. Keep one for Tuat Walkie. Later, dude. Just popped in to say hi. Have to start editing. But hey, I appreciate you stopping in, Tree Better. I really enjoy your content, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have fun editing. That's awesome. If you're near St. Louis, let me know. Might take those coins off your hands. Oh, right on. Cool. End of the world as we know it. A pottery kiln will be handy. Yeah, I was actually going to use it to heat in here for a while because this little one that I have it's a like a portable version, and they're like the you'd have to get new cones because they have the holes in the side of the units where you put the little cones in so you can pop them out to check and stuff like that. But yeah, squirrely Palestino. No, squirrely. I'm so used to just. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Cereal Palestino. So yeah, let's finish up the news and then we're gonna call this a night. I'm toast and I have all that cleanup of gear and stuff still to do outside. JLM Tree Service put out a huge popper takedown 2, the biggest climb yet. And my favorite part about that video is the customer who came out and gave them a ice cream sandwich on a hot day. Those are the best times when you're just toasted, sweating to death, and all of a sudden you get this popsicle where the ice cream van comes rolling by, or you really appreciate those. So, Meta Spencer did one of the coolest things I've ever seen. He put he did a video called "Placing a Human's Ashes in an Ash Tree," and it was just a beautiful thing, just in general. So it and he said it, and like it made me think. Like you start to think about after you're gone. My mom passed this year, and we had her cremated, and we can everyone can have a bit of her, which is really cool. So like what would you want done? You know, where do you want to be? And like I being like maybe I don't know. Maybe my brother if he's still around, or somebody climb me to the top of a tree and put me in a I don't know, throw me up in there. I don't even care. Like, but something like that sounds awesome. I'd maybe want to be planted somewhere where there's a tree, but it makes you think about that stuff, and like it's really cool that they did this little ceremony. So if something like that interests you, you should definitely go check out Meta Spencer. That's META Spencer, SPENCER, and it's a really cool video. He climbs up. The lady made this nest with ashes and these prayers in it, prayer ribbons, and like these feathers, and it was really cool. So that was really cool. But I'm gonna have to say like the feel good video of the week was Jeff Schroeder. Most of you guys know Jeff if you've watched August. Jeff has his channel, and Jeff uh, recently gave his 200T to his like son-in-law, stepson-in-law, or stepson, not son-in-law, but stepson. I don't know if he's married to his girlfriend, but that boy lives with them, and Jeff has introduced him to tree work, and it like almost brought Jeff to tears when he talks about it because then he says it's silly. I almost cried over a chainsaw, but it's not that. It's Jeff thinking back to how much it meant to him when the guy gave it to him, and what it did for him along the way, and the fact that he can do that to somebody else is amazing. So yeah, Jeff did that. Um, I can't like that totally. Oh yeah, it was like a big, maybe a pretty good sized pine tree or something. I can't remember what kind of tree it was, but he did all this and talked to the camera. He's gonna start to do a bit more vloggy style stuff. So you're gonna get to know Jeff even more. But yeah, just a cool thing, like really, really, really cool thing. So my guy Ground Pounder, who stopped in a little while ago, did some lives, and he's just always so busy. He's taking trips and like he's in and out. He's a go 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 guy. So been excited for him. I seen his new equipment he's got, and he seems to be doing great. He seems happy. So yeah, Ground Pounder's the man. Veteran Tree Service was just here. He put out a video, tree removal techniques in 10 minutes. It was a good, effective, efficient tree work video. Like, he showed you how to do a lot of things and didn't do a whole bunch of like explaining, but he just showed some different techniques along the way and showed that like there's multiple ways to kind of skin the cat when you're doing things. So, damn Wrangle Star. Damn Wrangle Star fell off. You're crazy. You're so crazy. Give me a second. Do you prep at all? What do you mean, prep? Emily Parker asks, "Am I good at backing up a trailer?" That's hilarious because, like, my father-in-law is, he's like amazed by how I can back a trailer up, and I find that to be so funny. But yeah, when you're used to, I used to pull a lift around for a long time, and I needed to get that lift in some very tight spots, and you get good at it after a while. I'm like, yeah, GP is Fierce ID. Yeah, he's the man. GP is he's the man. So 444 garage. That was funny. I don't like that I was the butt of it though, but it was funny. Damn it, it's hilarious. That's funny. Yeah, I give off that good backer upper vibe. That's cool. But yeah, it's just I think people don't use their mirrors like they should. But Colby, what's going on? Brandon, I'll have a new video out tomorrow. More pine beetles, trees. Right on. That's cool. That's cool. I'll try to go check you out. So, um, Peter Shea also put out it was like a community picture on his community uh, section on his channel, but it was just a really cool video of a climber. It was probably him riding the ball on a crane, and it's just always a good picture. So, um, let's see. Oh, Tree Mugs, educated climber. He Tree Mugs put out Sailor's Cross, which is a really cool way of tying a section of rope that gives you four, or maybe it's three terminal spots on it, or it could be four. I can't really remember. It's three or four, but like it ends up being a cross, and you could link off on either end. So yeah, check out Tree Mugs for that one. It was a really cool video. And he also put out a video saying that you should embrace the crane because they are the future of tree work, and that's a hard one to argue. So J306 is one of my dudes here, and it's just Jay is just bottom line. He's cooler than the other side of the pillow. He put a video dropping a poplar. He was on the money with it. One up, made sure he took all the back weight out of it, and sent it. One good, and he also I haven't got a chance to see it yet, but because he just posted, but he's doing a paint and prep. It's a project he's taking on with his daughter, and that's awesome because like right now my daughter's leaving to go to college, and we're buying everything so she can do all this, and you just count down the days. It's like she's only gonna be like 4 hours away, but 4 hours is a long time. Like freaks me out. She's always been right there, and it just worries me. So I'm sure every dad feels this way, but yeah, I'm kind of dealing with her and all that here recently. So a really cool video. She's gonna do great. I hope she does. I really do. Um, she's a very smart girl, and like she's done nothing in life but make me proud. Like she blows my mind and exceeds my expectations daily. So I'm sure she'll be all right. But thank you, Emily. I appreciate that. So a really cool video came out, and they what they did is, damn, I don't have that ring anymore. But they have like rigging rings. They tried just not rigging rings like the black rigging rings, but like a connection point ring, like what you would put on a friction saver, those kind of rings. So they did a brake test on some of those. I usually use them on my bridge for a connection point. So they did some brake testing on three different kinds, And this is crazy how this came out, but they did three different rings. There was a CT ring, there was a CMI ring, and there was an ISC ring. So, Brandon, have a good night, brother. Thank you for hanging out. I'm getting to the end here, guys, so we're about to finish this up. So the CT is the climbing technology. It's rated at 30 kilonewtons, which was like it ends up being like 6,744 pounds is where that ring is rated for. It ended up breaking at 114 kilonewtons, which is 25,632 pounds. So they rated it at only 6,000. Let's say we'll round up 6,800 pounds is what they rated that ring at. It didn't break until 25,640 pounds. So they're quite a ways off on that. But as a producer of a product, you're at least you're in the safe zone. You've undersold it. It can hold up to 25,000 pounds, but you're like, don't put no more than 6,700. You're being incredibly safe in that aspect. So I think there's nothing wrong in that. Some people may get mad and say that it's good night, brother. Be safe, and I'll see you next week. Yeah, yeah, Brandon. Hey, thank you, man. Have a good one. So some people maybe get aggravated about that. I don't really mind. I just want to know that it will hold what it says it's gonna hold, and then some. So, but the problem with that is like it's almost like 5 times what they rated it at. But so that was the climbing technology ring. So we jump over to the CMI ring. The CMI ring is rated 78 for it's rated for 78 kilonewtons, which is crazy because that's like more than double what the climbing technology one was. 78 kilonewtons it's rated at. That's 17,600 pounds. Listen to this. It broke at 8,050 pounds. And that's 35 kilonewtons. So they said you could put 17,600 pounds on it. It broke at 8,000. That's less than half the weight it said it could take. And it broke in a really weird way that it just simply, on the ring, a portion broke, like maybe the weld. So that freaks me out about that product. The CT, it belled like it smushed out. It like the ring smushed out, the metal compressed and like formed out and like took some more weight and pressure. So the CMI one, it didn't even change. It says like this. It is pink and just broke like right here. Didn't like disform the ring or nothing. So then they did it with an ISC ring. Now the ISC ring is rated similar to the CMI one. It is 70 kilonewtons, which is 15,736 pounds. Okay? So if they say you could put, let's just always round up, 16,000 pounds on this ring for ISC. Well, when they broke it, it broke at 142 kilonewtons, which is 32,004 pounds. So 32,000 pounds. 16,000 pounds. That's it broke at double what they rated it for. And it was the strongest out of all the rings. So the ISC ring broke at 32,000 pounds. The CMI broke at 8,000 pounds. And the CT broke at 27,000 pounds. So it's a really weird one. Like I think there's a faulty product there with that CMI one because every other product came in at half or less, like to where there's no chance of that accident happening, and CMI came in like saying you can put double the weight that broke it on it, which is crazy to me. So, Chronic 1771, can I ask what specific gear are you talking about? it just they're like rigging rings. They're like a metal ring that shoot, I'm trying to find one. Like they're kind of like these. Like these right here, these kind of rings. But they make them a bigger version, and a bunch of climbing companies will make them, and they're a little thicker. So yeah, it was rings like that. Uh, yeah, I just thought that was pretty fascinating. So what up, Jay? I'm getting ready to head out, brother. But the last one. Thank you for hanging out, though. I really appreciate you. Okay, I thought you were talking about rings for your bridge. Yeah, I am. Like a DMM ring. Those kind of rings is what I mean. Like it's a ring shaped like that, but they sell them and they're bigger and thicker and they're like rounded off, so you can put them on the bridge of your climbing device or your climbing belt, and it'll like when you have a device that's like shifted this way and you want it to be turned, if you put a ring on it, it gives it a quarter turn. So it'll sometimes having a ring makes it nice to align your climbing device. But yeah, Chronic, that's what I was talking about. It's like a DM. Actually, this is a much better example now that I'm looking. Sorry. These rings right here. It's those kind of rings. So last, okay, I thought you were talking about rings. Okay, I already read that. Sorry I'm late. Hope everybody's having an awesome week. You know it, Jay. Everybody's doing pretty good as far as I know, but okay, we're gonna finish this up. The last thing, as far as the news, I don't have a featured channel this week. That's a little bit my fault. I didn't really prepare for it, and I didn't put up the community thing. So if you're on the channel and you get a chance and you know someone or maybe a tree channel that seems cool and you want to give them a shout out and have us maybe check out some of their stuff, I'll put a community pickup and put that channel in the comment section. And what we'll do is we'll feature a channel for next week, bring a little attention to somebody else, help some of these smaller channels maybe get a little bit of growth. So this by far was the most productive live I've seen. Oh, that's well. I appreciate that. Um, so guilty of treason is the last one that we'll talk about. He just uploaded his video. I have not seen it all, and I think sometimes maybe that guy he's so polarizing. Like he may rub some people the wrong way, but for me, I really enjoy his content, and he's basically living my dream. He on two different levels, uh, work wise and YouTube wise. So he's like I said, he's living my dream, so I enjoy watching it because I don't know if I'll ever get to live it, but it's cool to see someone ride that wave and do so good. So shout out to Guilty of Treason. He don't need my shout out. I need his, but that is what it is, guys. Thank everybody for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Sorry to take up all this time, but you guys are the best. I will catch you next week where we can do all this again. And I'll put a video or two out during the week for you guys to watch. So thank you for hanging out. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of your weekend.